Welcome back to the polls. Let's move to Parliament, where the controversy over MP Francis Sosu's tussle with the police seems to have divided the House as the majority and minority sides take hardline party stands on the matter. Mr. Sosu has been declared wanted by police but have refused to hand himself in. He's backed by the Speaker's office, which has argued the MP is performing parliamentary business. But as the controversy rages, MPs are now taking sides on the matter. Let's take you live now to Parliament and speak to correspondent Kwesi Parker Wilson. Parker, what has been the stance of both sides?
Well, so let's start with the majority because they just joined the fray. And with the latest development, they are, in the words of the minority, attacking the Speaker and undermining the powers of the Speaker. Well, this morning, the majority issued a statement indicating that it is troubling for the Speaker to refuse to release the Member of Parliament for Medina constituency to assist the police in investigation. And again, proceeded to accuse the Speaker of undermining the rule of law. In fact, I'm going to quote to you a portion of the statement, and it's the concluding part, which says that, and this is coming from the majority caucus, we take a firm view that in the particular case under reference, Parliament as a lawmaking arm of our democracy has a constitutional and legal and moral duty to cooperate and collaborate with the police to ensure that the rule of law prevails. Further, Parliament must not be seen to be creating a false regime of two separate laws in Ghana, one for MPs and another for non-MPs. Instead, Parliament must ensure the equality of all citizens, including MPs, before the law. So this is the statement that got to the minority caucus incensed. And for the minority, they believe that since last week when the Speaker issued the statement, the majority side never mentioned a word about it. In fact, some of the majority members have endorsed the Speaker's position. So it's shocking that today the majority caucus will take a U-turn. And the allegation is that perhaps the executive arm of government is manipulating the MPs in Parliament to depart from the Speaker's position on this matter. And they find that very worrying. Again, they notice that they have picked up information that the Akufo-Addo-led government is using the police to intimidate NDC members of Parliament. And they are saying that they are going to resist that if that is the case. And this is actually from the Member of Parliament for Tamale Central, Mutala Mohammed, when I spoke to him. Now, there was a different twist to it when Parliament commenced business for the day, and the Deputy Majority Whip, Ibrahim Ahmed, raised the concern on that floor. Apparently, the two leadership of the House, the NPP and the NDC, had met over this issue and have agreed that they won't make any further pronouncement to the conversation going on, but rather wait for the Speaker of Parliament himself, Alban Babin, to return to Ghana so that they can take a definite position on what is happening. It is shocking and surprising that shortly after they left the meeting, they picked up a copy of the statement, which is in my possession, and asked the majority side of the House to provide further clarity as to why they would betray the minority in this. Well, the Deputy Majority Leader, Afanya Makin, when he was responding to the claim, indicated that the statement was issued before the state meeting. And so he's asking his side of the House, that is the majority, and also the NDC MPs, to equally remain silent on this matter. He cautioned them against granting even interviews to the media and wait for the Speaker to return. And when the Speaker returns, the leadership of the House, that is Oseche Mensah-Bonsu, the minority leader Haruna Iddrisu, and the others will now take a decision on the way forward, because they need to fashion out modalities on how Parliament is going to cooperate with the police going forward. They know that obviously members of Parliament would have issues with the law. And so when some of these issues come up, what is the way forward? How then do we deal with it? So for now, the members of the House say, from both sides say, they will remain silent on the issue until the leadership of the House return to Ghana to take a decision on the matter. But it's obvious that Parliament is sharply divided over this. And Aisha, if you recall, when the Medina MP himself raised this matter on the floor of the House, the Deputy Majority Leader, Alexander Afeyimakin, attempted to arrest the motion and raise concerns about whether he has followed the processes to file the complaint or the contempt charge against the two top police officer. And the Speaker was clear that this is a matter for members of Parliament. It is not a matter for the MPP or the NDC. It's an attack on Parliament as a whole. And he expects every member of the House to support the cause and ensure that there is no breach of Parliament or no individual insults the integrity of Parliament. So this has been the position of the Speaker, which today we are learning that the NPP departed from.
How about the MP himself? Did you see him in Parliament today? I'm talking about the Medina MP.
So, Aisha, Tuesday, Wednesday, today being Thursday, the Member of Parliament for Medina constituency hasn't been in the House. In fact, in the chamber to be precise. I do not know whether he's been to his office or not, but in the chamber to conduct parliamentary business, the MP hasn't been seen. His seat remained vacant in the last 3 days. In fact, let me add that the Deputy Majority Leader, Alexander Afeyimakin, when he was responding to the concerns raised, indicated to the MP that he should feel free and come to the chamber and prosecute what he's been mandated to do by his constituent. And so there's no need for him to be hiding. That is, if indeed he is. But he should come to Parliament. Of course, Parliament is going to protect him. And come and join the parliamentary business. I have checked with his own colleagues on the NDC side. The reason given to me for his absence is that perhaps he might be engaged in committee work. And that is why the Member of Parliament for Medina is not in the chamber. So the fact that he's not in the chamber does not mean or constitute an absence in Parliament, but rather engage in other parliamentary duties outside the chamber. So that has been the explanation given to me by his colleagues on the NPP side.
Baka, what else has been happening in Parliament?
Well, so today the Interior Minister, Ambrose Derry, appeared before the House to answer specific questions regarding issues of armed robbery and issues of criminal activities within specific constituencies. Well, in general, he indicated to the House that the security agencies or the ministry has beefed up security to ensure they forestall criminal activities or activities related to crime in the country. And so it is not necessarily within the WA constituency. In fact, this is actually coming from the WA West MP who actually asked the question. So the minister indicated that it is not just about the WA municipality, but of course, Ghana in general or the country in general, there are steps being taken to ensure that they reduce crime drastically. And of course, with the inception of the new IGP, Parliament should be assured that he's ready to deal with nefarious activities by any individual, irrespective of your position or your status in life. Again, there has been the conversation of the ESLA. The minority has been raising some concerns about the expenditure and some of the monies and how government has handled it. The conversation is still going on the floor, and I'm sure that at the end of the day, Parliament will take a resolution on the matter. And this is actually coming from the annual report of the Ministry of Energy. So Parliament is currently looking at that. When they are done, I'm sure a resolution will be taken on that.
Baka Wilson, he's in Parliament for us, and he's been telling us about happenings in that house. We'll still monitor events there, and there is updates for you in our subsequent bulletins.